Wow, that's spooky. They brought a car out here a long time ago and they put it over there in that bank, one lone car, and they piled massive blocks of cement all over it and buried it. It's from the 1940s and there it has sat. Way out here, but right off of Highway 80.
Right.
So somewhere right around here will be a bluff and there will just be layers of this mudstone that have thousands of shells sticking out of them, and the ground below that little bluff should just be covered in agatized fossils. But it won't be in the flats down here by the creek, it'll be somewhere upstream, and yeah, will be a spot that's not eroded yet. Or it was here and the stuff that was burying it is long eroded and it's all laying here in the stream and that's what's left. The formation seems to be huge and running through. Oh, coral. That's coral. There's an old piece of coral. Seems to be running through 3 whole states scattered about in outcroppings that have not yet been eroded down. And that's what they call the Green River Formation. And the whole thing has a lot of different fossils in there, mostly sea life, and you can see from the areas around here that they're doing a lot of fracking and a lot of oil extraction and coal extraction. That is probably because of all this organic life that was in the seabeds around here. That's what we're finding traces of right now. Because when organic matter, like living things and plant life, which only really exist in the shallow parts of the oceans where sunlight can penetrate, when those rot over millions of years and make that black mud, it eventually turns into oils and all of the petroleum layers that we seek out. That's what it actually is. That's why you see the shells and the dinosaurs, and it's called fossil fuel, is because it's basically fossil grease from all the old living things. So you can see that this part of the old seas, which used to cover the interior of the United States, had enough sunlight penetration and the right different circumstances to have life thrive and leave all these fossils behind and the layers of petroleum products that everybody's seeking. Get all those shells. Pretty successful hunt. Are you doing good over there?
Pretty good.
These little pieces are really cool. Hopefully the next location that we go to, collecting these little pieces that have all this life in it. See if we can look at these. Oh, just found a bigger shell, Mom. Wow. My eyes weren't even doing that.
Oh, nice one.
Crazy.
Nice one.
I'm happy. Okay. Yep, that is awesome. I just found an actual piece of the agate where everything is the agatized little shell. That's really cool. Really cool. We're gonna have to get a close-up camera on these. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I've come downstream and I'm finding more pieces of the actual stone which has everything locked up in it. So I'm gathering some of that and I'm taking a quick prospecting trip downstream to see if there's any heavier concentrations that we're missing. And this is what I'm gathering along the way, because I see that it's got fossils stuck in it also. That's bone. I don't want to go too fast and miss everything, but I do want to explore and make sure there's not something better right around the corner. And that's the offense and the defense of it. Look at all these pieces though. So we will have a bag of the actual stone. Ooh. Ooh. That has the rocks in it. That's pretty cool too. I can barely talk. I have to apologize for that. That's how I get. I'm excited about things. Instead of getting loud, I get kind of silent. Like a good crab feed or a pizza fest or a spaghetti eat. When no one's talking anymore. So you know it's all good stuff. Yep, these are all fossil layers of the Green River Formation. So I am stoked to be gathering it and bringing it home. I feel very unskunked. You see all the things that are being found in an area, then you don't always have the time to stop and give it a proper look. And yeah. Lots of the rock down here that still is hosting the shells. Bigger chunks of it with a bunch of the shells still stuck in it right here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Getting enough of these little ones gathered up and now the host rock to where I'm getting kind of satisfied with that and might start cruising over it a little bit more, looking as I run out of time. I high grade more and more and more. It's a way to cover more ground and increase your odds for bigger finds. But you don't want to spend all your time just high grading because you might miss the details. Big chunks of this stuff and these shelves are all through it. So instantly feeling pretty rich in that. looking for other big shells too, because that one snail was cool. We have stratigraphy. Let's go check this just in case. What do we got? Found a little spiral. Little sideways snail. This is the next out of place stone that I see out here. A little fleck of quartz, it looks like. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm gonna leave that. I'm well aware of what it is. So, leave it in context. But yeah, it seems like just mud up here, and then the pieces that you find, nature didn't move to where they are. Lots of antelope and buffalo and everything else out here. Okay, we're about to head to the next location, and I just got this little spiral there. And the dog's already been sleeping for a while. And yeah.
Let's go to the car.
Section of the road is if it's dry, it's rock hard. If it gets wet, looks like you're just gonna sink into the mud. There's the highway right there. Highway 80's that way about 8 miles, maybe 9 miles, and Little America right down the road. And yeah, this is the material that I was able to gather. There's all my littles, the rocks it's stuck in, and my agates and such. We're off down the road. Piece of quartzite laying right there. Ooh, that one's pretty. It's almost like a rose quartz.
I picked up some of that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that's really pretty. That'll polish up with all the quality of a rose quartz. It basically is a rose quartz. That's going in the bucket too. So here's a quick look as we end this video and we head on to our next spot, which was not far down the road and had some really cool finds. And then the next spot, which wasn't really that far down the road, had even more cool finds. Here's a look at everything spread out. So all of the bigger rocks that you see are the different material with the shells stuck all in it. And this piece is one that looks like it's actually silicated enough that when we cut it and polish it, it's going to be one of those quote-unquote agates. I have a piece here. Let me grab that I owned previously that I think is a good example. So this is a piece that long ago a friend of mine who has passed now, Megan, brought to me, and you can see the little shells in there, and I think that brown material in between there is probably, some of these are more chalky, but you can see this one has more of a glossy surface to it already, and the whole thing is kind of like a silicated mass. So I think that will probably polish up into that, would be my guess. So I think we found a big old chunk of it. And then the rest of this, just for an overall view of how many of them were actually agatized. It's pretty insane. And then of course these couple here. But yeah, I brought back a bunch of chunks to try and look at. This is what I ended up gathering, far more than I could show in the video. And then these are our big pieces of agate, all cleaned up, prairie agate I believe. And some of them are actually Yellowstone-like, Wyoming-like. Same basic region as we get up to the top here. It's got the little dendrites in it. See with the light passing through, it's beautiful blue honey. And yeah, it came like that with all the surfaces like that. The surfaces on these, kind of very curious about what makes that. Was that just the shape of the host rock? And if so, you know, look at that matrix. It was a pretty crazy matrix. But not really sure there. Beautiful little specimen pieces. And yeah, these are more gray with dendrite showing through. I guess that's a whole agate, so the matrix must have been shaped like you're seeing there, and that's what caused the pitting. Not sure. It has its translucency for sure. This which has dendrites all through it, and when held to light is semi-translucent. So not sure. Cute little agates. This one that you can see has orange down in it. Some cool little different ones. But yeah. So these are small, but still to have a handful of them is pretty cool. We're going to look at what my mom found here also. And then wrap up the video. Let's go look at that.
This was super fun site, easy access, roadside. Any car could have driven on the road. And super fun. Some of them are already agatized. Really fun.
So yeah, thank you to the person who designed his website and gave this general location. And Wyoming is starting to reveal itself in this part of the quest, obviously, as kind of a rockhounding paradise, as Arkansas was. And here we have so little vegetation and so much rock and mineral exposed everywhere, and things like the Green River Formation running through the whole thing with all of these fossils. We tried to look up the different quarries that are there that are very cheap to go and dig at, where you can get really beautiful fossils, but they're all closed for the season as we were coming through. We literally had snow falling behind us. So I hope to see you at the next location, and for now I'm going to wrap up this video. And remember to please take care of yourselves, and if you get the chance, take care of each other and quest on.